Welcome back to A Corporate Time.
Joey Mazzant's here. How you doing, Joey?
Really good, guys. Thanks for having me back.
Joey Mazzant.
So, the theme parks.
Yes.
It's hot.
Are they still?
So
Are the theme parks still running?
Honestly, it's the perfect segue. I was literally going to lead in with, this is a PSA for everybody going to the theme park. It is the hottest Florida has ever been in history.
Yeah.
Just today, we got a group text from other people that I work with. Disney took 3 people out on stretchers just yesterday.
Whoa, and those were just the heavy people. Those are just the people that didn't want to walk to the castle. They just had them carry them to the castle. I've seen you guys out there getting carried to the castle.
Yeah,
I've seen you.
I'm gonna fake pass out so I get carried to the castle.
Yeah.
So the problem,
should.
the problem that you're having is that they're having is they have those water things. You know, you go to the water fountain and they have the one where you can push the button and fill your water bottle.
Here's the thing I figured out. Water does not taste good.
Nailed
It is not good. Have you guys tasted water?
Yeah.
Horrible.
It's not like Kool-Aid. I
No,
know that.
no. And it's certainly
rather
not
have
Always
like...
add Kool-Aid to water.
Yeah, it's not like our state drink of Diet Mountain Dew either, which they're phasing out. Did you hear that? They're phasing it
Too
out.
soon.
It's all Mountain Zero now. You can't get a Diet Mountain Dew anymore.
So, Joey, the theme parks are the same price, though, right? like
Yes.
people are paying the same now as they'd pay, let's say, in January.
There's a lot of deals though.
Yeah, there's
Because
like,
they're trying to get people to come out.
oh yeah, they're
barely
Florida
hear you.
residents. If you
Hello?
have If you have Disney Plus, they're giving you discounts. If you have DVC, they're giving you. They're fine.
But
You can
who
find-
has the time to figure out all the goddamn discounts? I don't have time to stand there and figure out my discounts.
Is it
it's
half?
too hot.
Is it half off?
No, it's 10%.
Okay,
No.
Well, then how are people
You
still?
can get a buy one get one if you're a Florida resident right now.
Oh,
All
really?
right.
A buy
But you
one-
got to use it by the end of September.
Hey, okay,
Well, that's
hold on.
half off. That's
hold on,
half
that's
off.
pretty damn good. Yeah,
Yeah.
that is a half off. That is good.
Yeah. I mean, so
I will take advantage of that because Maisie likes Disney. We don't have our passes anymore. Boo. I know everybody boos me for getting rid of my pass.
It's too expensive.
I do feel bad for getting rid of them because I see things all the time that I'll see and I'll be like, ooh, I'd like to do that. But it is too hot.
It's insane.
It's too hot for water parks right now. I don't like standing in a line. Too hot for lines.
I'm not joking. If someone said, "I'll pay you to go with your family to Magic Kingdom right now,"
But you could put a
full
number on
day.
it. You could put a number on it.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
the king
yeah,
of putting
yeah,
a
yeah.
number on it.
I have a number on it. It's the only reason I go is because somebody's paying me to go to the theme
right.
park.
You're
Otherwise, I wouldn't
salaried.
go.
Yeah, you're salaried, right? You're not hourly, are
I'm
you?
hourly.
Are you
But
hourly?
the hourly's
Oh, okay.
it's phenomenal.
Yeah,
Even
yeah.
if everything was free, right? All the tickets or
Yeah.
whatever, I just had to show up, park,
Sure.
and do but I didn't get a fast pass. I have to do, do the
No,
regular.
no fast pass,
Well,
no
I'm just-
lightning lane.
Well, I'm just trying to put it in perspective here. I $2,000. Someone would have to pay me $2,000 cash. Don't get the government involved.
Can I-
to
I'm-
go to
I'm gonna
a theme park
surprise you.
right now with my family?
I'm gonna surprise you with something that, yeah, you didn't think I'd say this, and I'm way more of a theme park fan than you are. It'd have to be more than 2K for me to go. I
Well,
almost
you
died,
like it,
dude.
though.
I almost died out walking around Lake Baldwin to try and get unfat. I'm not doing that.
You say
it's not
this, Tom,
fun.
but that's just because you're not a theme park person. Because you will spend 8 hours out on a hot ass boat.
Yeah.
True,
Yeah.
true.
You
Not
know?
just
so
about
you,
the
you
heat.
pick your activities.
We
in the
all
heat.
No,
have
yeah,
our
yeah.
curses and
No.
our crosses to bear. Jesus Christ.
I factored that into the equation. The fact that I don't even
wouldn't
like
do
it to
it for
begin
2K,
with,
man.
but
I wouldn't do it for 2K. How long are we talking? Sun up to sundown?
8 hours.
Oh my
yeah,
God.
just the heat of standing in line mixed with all the people, and they all stink because it's hot and everybody's
Well,
sweating.
You also said one thing that really made the 2K go up. But there's no booze at Magic Kingdom, dude. And I'm not doing that.
Sit down
No.
restaurants, they do have alcohol.
My wife ain't gonna let me sit down. You know how she does the
Air
theme parks.
conditioning.
She makes me go fast to
Yeah.
everything. We go here, we go here, we go here. We gotta make this line. We gotta get that. I'm like,
For
oh,
whatever
God.
reason, extreme heat and booze, it just it
Oh,
makes
it's not good.
yeah,
It doesn't mix.
It makes me
But it
hotter.
does make me want it.
Yeah,
It does
yeah.
make me want it. I
Takes
see
the
it.
pain
cool
away.
beer on a hot day.
It
Oh,
does
yeah.
take the pain away.
Yeah, but then when you're drunk and
Fighting with your wife.
extreme, overheating
Yeah.
is rough. Anyway,
Okay.
So Joey, what else is going on at theme parks besides the heat?
Universal Studios opened up Minion-Land, and that ride is insane. That Minion, Villain Con Blast. It's like a Buzz Lightyear or a Men in Black where you get a laser gun, and you get on a conveyor belt, and it takes you through a course, and you just shoot the H out of everything you see. It's pretty odd. The kids love it. Like it's
But
cool.
you never get to win anything. Like I've done really, really well on the Buzz Lightyear one, and then you get to the end, And then you'll have one
How
of
about
the,
a stuffed animal
Yeah,
for the best car? Like you're the winner of the last 10 cars.
Give me something.
So whoever gets the highest score gets some sort of Chinese trash.
Garbage. Like, make it worth my
stuffed
while
animal.
to participate in your stupid
Yeah,
round.
a tiny minion keychain.
I would take a keychain.
Yeah.
There's a bragging rights element to it. You actually now you tie it to your app, your Universal Studios app, and it actually puts you on a ranked board. So you get to be king nerd of all the other nerds, and like other nerds can see your name and realize that you were better at that game than them. So at least it's something. It's something. You know,
Can you make your name ASS? ASS. Is
Oh,
it
I've
just
already-
like old school Midway games?
You got to go 255 and see if people know what that.
Right.
Yeah, but absolutely.
Yeah.
You're like, E.T. said the N-word.
Jesus.
I will say.
I said I was Billy N-word.
Yeah.
Like,
Billy Edward.
I-N-W-A-R-D. Well, he said it. I don't know.
And it's the most wonderful time of the year.
Yeah, while wearing a sheet, which is what made it odd. You know?
It's a ghost costume for Horror Nights.
This is not a ghost costume.
All right, so Minions-Land is opening up at Universal.
Day after tomorrow. Yep.
And
Minions there is no gray area with Minions. You either love the Minions and think they're cute and funny, or you hate the Minions and wish that they would die. But there's nobody that
I'm
says...
on side hate.
Nobody says
I
they're
can't get into
okay.
it.
And see, I'm on the opposite side. You know, I like them. I think they're kind of funny. My daughter likes them. That plays into it, certainly. But I could see where you would hate them because they say nonsense. They say a little bit of Spanish and some French peppered in there.
If you want to go to LOL, look at the movie reviews about the Minions. People like 0 out of 5 stars. I didn't know I had to speak Spanish to watch this movie. 0 out of 5
that's
stars.
just
My
racist.
kids
Yeah, there is a lot of racist reviews.
my kids won't stop singing YMCA.
I think this is correct.
wrong with that?
I could be wrong on this, but I think there's one guy that does the voices for the Minions and one girl that does the voices for the Minions. Or maybe that's the Sims. Maybe I'm mixing up the Sims. But I think
Simians.
there's one guy that does all the stuff, and
he's making
and
bank.
he mixes in French and he mixes in Spanish and Italian.
That's funny.
And yeah, it's pretty cool.
So, Joey, besides
Total misinformation. I messed that all up. But just hear it, say it at the dinner table. You'll seem smart.
I love it.
Besides from the Minions, any new like attractions at any of the parks?
Well, as I was saying, the most wonderful time of the year. It's Halloween coming up. I
Oh,
mean,
God.
Horror Nights is coming. Hallow Scream is staying at SeaWorld this year. We got Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween, and it's funny how they're 3 things completely the same. Go get scared, don't get scared. It's Halloween, but the prices couldn't be further away from each other. Like Disney, there's no... At Universal, you buy the frequent fear pass. You go every night if you want.
Okay.
At Disney, it's like, not only do you have to pay per night, but it sells out like 3 months in advance. You already can't get in August because the tickets are sold out for the entire month.
Are they controlling the number of people, though? Like,
Yeah.
could you make an argument that Mickey's Not So Scary, even though it does sell out earlier, and even though the price point is like, eek, is it a more, like, for people that don't like theme parks, would you say that one is maybe more comfortable? Is there a benefit?
The benefit is kids. It always comes down to kids. If you've got a 3, 4, and 5-year-old, you take them to Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween. It's adorable. Go get your candy, get your snacks, watch the Headless Horseman lead the parade. It's cool. You go to
It's way less exclusive than it used to be. They are what you're saying. They are selling more tickets now than they ever have before.
Yes.
So before, if you would go, it would be way less people in the parks. But now they are actually selling more tickets. So it is less than a normal day at Magic Kingdom, but it's still more than it used to be. So it's still going to be busy.
Yeah, and you can get in early, which is nice. You can actually show up at 4 o'clock, even though the festivities don't start till 7. You can show up at I know it's
4
so hot.
o'clock in a Dracula cape? Oh, my
Well,
God.
okay. Not to bring up the heat again like an old man.
That's fine.
You gotta stop,
And
man.
playing the part of
But-
old man.
This
So,
is turning into.
how much less, percentage-wise, enjoyable or festive is Halloween? When you add heat
In Florida, 100% less festive.
into
Amen.
the equation, like
It's 100% for me. Like, it doesn't even feel like Halloween. When I'm sitting out on my balcony in shorts and no shirt watching my daughter dressed up walk with a bag.
Well, I'm not even talking.
Boo.
No, I'm not talking about
Boo.
in like late October. It'll be cooler outside.
Right.
It will be, but
it'll
I'm
still
saying
be hot as
in,
hell.
in August, where people are going and celebrating Halloween already in these theme parks. Like when you're walking around and everything's Halloween themed, but it's
3 billion degrees.
It's 93 outside
Yeah.
and it's dusk already. Like, it's dusk 93. Like it feels like it takes the enjoyment level of Halloween down 40%.
It does. I'd
like
say more.
40% down.
The heat kills every,
so is it even worth it?
Not for me. I mean, I guess it really depends on the. I guess it would depend on the.
It's going to be cheaper in August.
Yeah.
It's going to be less people in August.
True.
So I mean, you got to look at the pros and cons.
But like anything is an equation. So yes, it is cheaper. But if it takes the enjoyment level 40%, so if it's
There's
cheaper,
a lot of air conditioned rides in Magic Kingdom though.
But you're not going. I feel like Halloween. You're going for the Halloween. Like you're going
You
to
mean
watch
for the
show.
vibe.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
for the
And-
outside
Sure, like the-
decoration.
I mean,
The
for me,
parades.
just
yeah,
for
but
me.
you can go anytime during the 3 months that they're putting on Halloween.
Yeah,
you don't
but-
have to buy the special ticket to
No,
see that.
that's what I'm
Besides
saying.
the parades.
You
and
got to
stuff.
go later. You can't go in August.
Well,
No.
right,
It-
like watching the
it's not
Mickey's
as
Not
good.
So Scary at 107 degrees at 4 p.m. And like I'm like, no,
Yeah.
no, thank you. That is not.
it's worth
fall. That is
paying 40% more to go
Yes.
in.
For
Pay
me.
$10 more ahead and
In
just go when it's
October.
nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, I've already booked. I'm taking a family, and they're like, we're going, and the kids. My daughter's gonna wear a full gown and look like Cinderella. My son's going like Jack Sparrow. I'm like, he's gonna sweat his butt off. It's gonna be It's gonna suck.
Yeah, although kids, it's like
They don't care.
Like Tommy, we did Meet the Teacher. He puts on a hoodie. And
you gotta dress up.
And then I'm like, a hoodie? I'm like, it's so hot. He's like,
Kids are impervious to
Yeah.
to degrees of temperature.
They don't
I feel
care.
like.
Dude,
I think my
They're
entire
ridiculous.
existence as a child, I wore a hoodie. Like I
Yeah.
think everywhere I went, I wore a hoodie.
Dude, if
I
you
see the high schoolers on the corner waiting for the bus, all in hoodies.
Yeah, there's a memes about it.
Yeah.
They're like middle schoolers and
Take
all
that
this.
off. What
Everyone's
do you
wearing hoodies. Anyway, so when is Super Mario Land going to be open? Because I want to check
Supposed
that
to be
out.
I'm
next
so
year,
ready.
right?
Yeah, it's supposed to be 2024. It's so hard to predict. It was always hard to predict the future of these things anyway. But once COVID hit, it shut down an entire theme park from being built. So that pushed construction back. Like, God, who knows?
Oh yeah, it looks like a few months ago they just announced they've pushed it to 2025.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
I
mean-
won't even be into Mario. By
I'm
then.
just gonna go to California.
Why not?
Yeah, you might as
same.
well.
Yeah.
Why aren't they working 24 hours a day? Because as
They
soon
might
as,
be.
Well, they
Yeah,
are.
I-
But it's
I
not
think
just
they kinda
Mario.
are.
There's 5 lands there, and that theme park is going to be bigger than Universal and Islands combined.
Yeah,
it's
it's
going to
yeah,
have
it's
its own.
Epic Universe Park, so it's more than just
It's
Mario.
kind of their
Land.
crown jewel, right?
It is. It's going to be the big guy.
I think they're kind of, and I like their idea of like, we have these 2 established parks that are kind of killing it, right? We're just going to make our new behind the scenes, we're making this big boy park and putting everything at it. And it's going to have all the new, latest, and greatest stuff.
Yeah.
it's taking them too long.
It is.
Like, it seems like
Yeah.
you could
Get
do
to
this
work.
faster.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
hot out there,
Yeah.
Tom. They gotta work
It's
overnight.
like how I feel at the end of a season finale of Sopranos or something. You get to the end and they're like, well, when do we get to see the next season? They're like, 6 years. I was like, well, no, thank you.
Yeah.
I don't even care now.
That's what I did with Game of Thrones. I watched it episode, and I never watched a single episode. And then we watched every one in order, and I'm like, I can't believe somebody waited like a year to watch. Oh, I've been miserable, dude.
So, are the water parks right now the most busy?
Ooh, that's a good question. I would
or
imagine they are.
Are they less busy because it's hot there too, and that you're standing in line, and like it's not like.
I've gone a handful of times over the summer, and they were not that busy.
So
There was like 5 to 10 minute waits for the rides.
That's not bad at all.
That's what I love about.
But they only have, well, I'll speak for Disney. I know Volcano Bay is open,
that's what I
but
was gonna say.
they have Blizzard Beach closed again because they don't have enough staff. They don't have
Gotcha.
enough lifeguards, so they can only have one open at a time. So they keep like transitioning from Typhoon Lagoon to
Well,
Blizzard Beach.
I contend that's people, grown adults, that don't know how to swim. And I saw a lot of that at White Waters up in Georgia. And there's nothing funnier than seeing guys that have like I don't know, like crosses on their tattooed on their face, literally a bullet on their eyeball telling you that they murdered somebody, and the guy's got a life vest on and can't swim. The hardest thing you could do as a gangster at White Waters, I'm serious. I said this to Andrea, and she said, don't say it. I said, the hardest, the toughest, thuggiest, most badass thing you could do before the summer at White Waters Water Park, if you were a big thuggy guy in a gang, is to learn how to swim. And then you go there, and then you don't have the vest on, and then all your boys are like, why don't you got your vest on? And you're like, because I learned how to swim. And then you jump in and swim, and then you're going to blow their minds, and you've instantly become the hardest in the gang.
Yeah.
Right?
Wow.
Because
You're
you're
not
the
wrong.
toughest guy.
You're not
Because you
wrong.
learn, you face your fears.
Hard to be tough when you have a big,
It is.
poofy,
Poofy
yellow,
blue.
Yes.
Blue, bright.
Poofy blue.
No, light blue.
Yeah.
Baby Tiffany blue.
Yeah.
All of them. There were thousands of grown-ass men in White Waters Water Park with light blue because they didn't know how to swim.
Yeah.
Not thousands, but hundreds.
No, it's-
Definitely hundreds.
Volcano Bay is like that. Volcano Bay, these dudes are just walking around with these vests on.
No.
And there's
You gotta
walking-
learn how to swim.
They're
It
not even in
shouldn't
the
be-
water.
I kind of feel like it should be one of those things that's like, and I'm not one for having teachers parent my kid, but I almost feel like you should learn, like you should be mandatory to learn how to swim. just so you don't die.
Right.
Oh, that's money. That's taxpayer money.
I'm in.
Not every school has a pool.
I'd pay for it.
Yeah,
Most schools do not have pools.
I will.
Also, there's no pools around.
No, but I'm
in
just
certain
saying, you gotta
neighborhoods.
learn it.
Yeah, there's no pool.
You just got to learn how to swim. Support it.
Also, at the theme parks or water parks or whatever, they don't give you the Parks Bonifay cool wakeboard life jacket.
No.
Yeah, it doesn't look like you're wearing body armor. It looks like you're wearing a big poofy light
They
blue.
give you the big poofy handicapped, generic.
And it's a one size, you know, like
one
so
size
it's
fits
like
all.
you're wearing a L double XL. The thing is humongous, and you got to run the strap through your crotch. So then it takes your surf jams and pushes them way up into your.
But I hate that they're colored to match the size because the bigger you are, the brighter the color. So like when I go with the missus, she's wearing this tiny little yellow one. I'm like, oh, you're great, and I put on the medium, like the blue, and then there's a big old chungus wearing a green one, and I'm like,
Now, Joey, so from you coming in here for years, we've talked about the best time to go to the parks because it's the least busy, and that's right before school lets out and right after.
Right
school.
now.
Like
right now is a good time.
Now
before Labor Day.
But like Miami, they don't go to school till next week. There's a lot of like schools that don't start for like 2 weeks, so you still got some Midwest like people are getting at the end of the summer. So when's the absolute sweet spot for all basically kids are back to school? I feel like end of August.
But now the UK, they're all coming over here at the same time. You walk around the park right now, it feels like you're at the Rose and Crown pub. Everybody's British right now in the parks.
Oh,
God,
yeah, a lot of
they
tight
go to
soccer
school.
jerseys everywhere.
You nailed it.
Everywhere.
So why are they coming now? Just because it's right before they go back to school?
Yeah, well, in the UK, it's not. They have a policy where if you pull your kid out of school, you have to pay a fine. But the airfare is so cheap because their airlines are like, nobody's going anywhere right now because nobody wants to pull their kid out of school. So now, just like your equation, is it, okay, we pay a greater fine for a lesser priced airfare. So they're kind of moving the scale as well. So a lot of them are pulling their kids out of school because they're like, it's worth it paying the fine because airfare is 75% off.
Gotcha.
So
that makes sense.
So when is the best time? Is it now? Is it, you're talking be like right after Labor Day?
I'd never say a negative thing, but there isn't anymore. Like,
oh, there's got to be
there's
one's
not,
better
bro.
than the other.
There's not, because now you got to go to the park and either nobody wants the T-shirt that says I went to Florida and all I got was this T-shirt and melanoma. So you're gonna, you know what I mean? It's so hot in the park right now, you can't enjoy yourself even if it is slow. So there's really no.
Yeah, but if you were trying to do it the cheapest way with the least.
Okay, that's a better question.
Okay, thank you.
The
cheap is now.
way.
Cheap is now.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Cheap is now. But you can't enjoy yourself, but it's cheap, you know?
Well, I mean, if that was your only way to do the parks at the absolute cheapest price, and that's the only way you could afford it.
Yeah,
then
you got to do it.
Yeah,
take advantage of it.
Then you have to give up
you
the.
could do it right, you know,
luxury.
as long as you prepared yourself. You know, put your sunscreen on before you get there. Make sure you and your kids are hydrated. You got the hats and everything you need to do. Put on like a nice long sleeve, but that kind that like protects you from the UV, and just hit it. And then you got to go into it. And I've been doing this with my family a lot lately, and it's normally for me. I give us a pep talk about like, hey. And I say, this is for me, not for you guys.
Yeah.
We're going to have a good attitude when we do this. And I'm saying, and I'm looking at you, Dan. I always say that because I'm Mr. Bad Attitude. And I have to, preach us, you know, give us a little pep talk.
And also, are there rides that have more air-conditioned lines than others?
Sure.
Like the indoor. I like the indoor lines. Like they like herd you into rooms and then you wait lines inside AC rooms.
Yeah.
Like that's not that bad.
Universal's got that one figured out. Every Universal ride is indoor except for like 3 of them. Every one of their rides is indoor. Their queues are indoor. Disney's got a lot of outdoor. We've made this joke before about Toy Story Land. Does Andy's mom not own an umbrella? The entire area is out in the sun. Every queue is in the sun. No matter where it's. Oh man,
yeah,
it's
Toy Story Land's brutal.
You put some shade up. I mean,
they started
that's
to
insane.
sprinkle
Yeah.
in like little
like
umbrellas,
tarps?
but they're all on the side, right?
Yeah,
and
they're all on the side.
and they're all full because all the parents are waiting.
The first time I did that, Sam, and I was walking my way to Slinky Dog, I'm like, I think I'm going to die before I get there. It's like, what is happening right now?
And all the cool stuff is outside, so people are in Star Wars land, and they're like, this is amazing. They're taking pictures, but there's nothing indoor, and those gift shops only hold like 40 people.
Yeah, they're small.
They're
tiny. And they're not real. Have you ever noticed that Disney gift shops are not real buildings? They're like hallways for your money. Like you walk in, and it's like, it's not even a full thing. It's like, it's covered, and then there's a cashier, and then you just wander through. It's not even like
There's no doors on anything.
No. It's just a hallway where you just go inside and you buy like a little tiny clay pot. from Mexico.
So, Joey, anything else before we get out of here?
Everything's awesome. With the weather getting nice, kids going back to school, people are moving. You should probably give Crystal Van a call if you're looking to buy a house. This is the perfect time of the year for it.
This guy trying to butter you up.
yeah.
And a big thanks to Toll Road Brewing. They have a Tom and Dan watering hole. Got to go there and have a drink. My goal, I want to go to every T&D watering hole and get my picture with the plaque. I think that'd be a cool. I think it'd be a cool post. I'm going to do that at some point.
Yeah, especially the ones that don't know their watering holes. Yeah. Those are like they'll go by and they're like, "What? What are you talking about?"
I like the ones that have the plaque but don't pay.
Yeah,
that's the Butler special.
Yeah. I like that. I like the don't know your watering hole or you're stealing from us. That's what I like. All right, Joey. Well, we appreciate it.
You, man.
And if anybody wants to go on a tour with you and have a special experience,
VIP, if anybody would like to swing with you, and you're, are you married again now, or is it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, she's awesome.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. We got mentioned real quick. We got mentioned in the Wall Street Journal. They actually did a write-up about me and my company, and it was pretty awesome. They called me the Fixer, so it's really awesome. If you want to check it out.
The Wall Street Journal.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
What?
1988.
I gotta pay to read it.
Yeah, Wolf. Yeah,
behind the paywall. I can't even read it.
It's true. I'm so sorry, but it's true.
I like it when you click on. You're like, oh my god, this. I want to. You see the headline.
This headline is just salacious.
And there's like, pay $1 to read this. You're like, no, thank you.
It's not worth it.
Yeah,
it was only worth it when it was free.
Yeah. And I really want them to know. And then I'm sure the information.
And it's not the dollar. It's not the dollar. It's the process of having to fill out everything.
Sign
I'm not
up.
filling it out.
Hell no.
If you just said, hey, if I'll get the dollar later. I'd opt in. I'd give you the $1. I'm a man of my word, but I'm not going through the process of filling out my name, email address.
My mom called me, and she's like, oh my gosh, you're in the Wall Street Journal. How do I look at it? And I was like, I'll just fill out your information. She goes, just give me your password. I'm like, well, I don't have one. She goes, how did you read it? And I'm like, the guy sent it to me. She's going to send me that. I don't want to pay to read this thing.
I also like on Reddit where people will pay for it and then copy the whole article and then put it in Reddit. I like that. Yeah, that's fantastic.
All right, we will be right back.
All right, man. Great job. Where's that go Wednesday?
Wednesday 3.
Awesome.
Do you want to put Shane for 4?
Yeah, we can do that. Let's just go in order.
So we'll need 19.
Well, good seeing you, man.
You too, guys. Thank you so much.
Have a good rest of your day, brother.
Appreciate you.
Joey, take it easy. I appreciate it. If you need anything, just let us know.
Yeah, man. Holler at us.
Whenever things that we gotta do a theme park day whenever the weather isn't killing us.
That'll be a minute, but definitely down.
We can do a go-to.
Yeah, we should, and just see how many rides we could rip in a show.
Well, I will say, if you really wanted to do a cool go-to, I got connection at about 7 or 8 different bars. If we wanted to actually, I don't know how your mobile unit is. If you wanted to set up in like Galaxy's Edge, if you wanted to go to Oga's Cantina, if we wanted to go to
that'd be cool.
George and do a go-to show, let me know.
That'd be fun, man. Right, cheers, man.
See ya.
Good seeing you, Joey. Yeah, EJ, Apple Pay's a little too dangerous. You just hit the button and it just goes. But it is nice, though. It's nice for stuff in here, like when I need to buy stuff. Sorry. Let me see if my buttons are working here.
Button. Who's got the button?
So the Shane Torres Conquer Your Fears was a Comedy Central web series.
He did his stand-up special on Comedy Central, and because of that, they went to him and asked him to write up some treatments for a show, and he came up with that idea, and they did 3 episodes, and then they stopped doing it. But he said it was really fun, and he is thinking about maybe trying to do it again.
Okay.
But it sounds like a really cool concept.
Yeah, did it start as a podcast?
He said it was a web series.
Somebody, I think, sent me that. Oh, May's getting a haircut. August 18th. What night is that?
It looks like he does do a podcast with Kyle Kanan.
Yeah, Kyle Kinane. It's called No Account for Taste.
No Accounting for Taste.
No Accounting for Taste. Yeah, it's good. They defend they kind of take like counterpoint, like I think the last one he was talking about that I saw, he and Kyle were defending monogamy, so they take like the opposite stance on things. And oh yeah, Tracy, what'd you do to your son's hair, man? How'd you screw it all up? Why are you a bad mom? I'm joking. Did you hear Tracy's got her son a haircut and he hates it? That happens.
Yeah.
Though. I think every kid does that, right?
Yeah, that happened with Tommy one
Happened
time.
with me. My dad gave me a flat top.
Oh, I've had many uneven bangs, mullets.
Yeah, the old flat
My
top.
ears got cut up.
She said he cried all night. Now that hurts my heart. Don't be crying over a haircut. It'll grow back. And did he still have the one he had? He had an aggressive. He had that, like, hair in the front and shaved all over? He had I forget that player's name.
If you guys are going to say the time, change it to 8.
8?
Because the ticket actually says 8, but everywhere else it says 9. But I don't want people to miss the damn show, so put 8.
My pencil.
To 8?
Yeah,
Oh, no,
according to the ticket. So it's probably doors at 8, I would assume, but
Yeah.
just put 8.
Oh, you needed to clean up the R9 cut, and now he hates it. Yeah, I'm virtually certain. You should argue with him and say, you're a cool mom that you even let him get that haircut. There's no way my dad would have ever let me cut my hair like that. Oh, long, but he had short hair, I thought. I thought he had he was growing the R9 out. Gotcha. Poor dude. I don't know if I cried when I got my flat top, but I know I was fucking mad. I know I yelled. Over is? Okay, so Jackal says, his boy says, over the ears and in his eyes like he's in the Beatles. He doesn't say the Beatles part, right, Jackal? You added that. I just had long ass hair, like really long, like girl hair. I had girl hair. Growing your hair is a commitment. You ever think about doing it one more again? You ever think about like letting it roll like your boys? They're growing their hair. You grow your hair.
No.
Too hot?
It is hot.
I'm not. I'm dying with
My husband's talking about growing his hair
the
back
same
out.
haircut.
Yeah. I'm thinking about shaving my head again.
Do it.
Just
Try.
because of the
Go
heat. Seriously,
full-
just because of the heat.
Well, it's not that much hotter the way.
But it
I-
feels good. Like when you sleep and it feels great.
I-
Having a shaved head
Yeah.
feels so awesome.
yeah, but you're gonna look ridiculous.
Wow.
Or-
No.
with the shave,
Nah,
like
I'll look all right.
like a
I've
Nazi.
I've done it before.
Like
I'm
a
not gonna
skinhead?
shave it like a knot. I'm not bicking it. Just to buzz it down a little tighter, like a 2 or a 3, and just put a little zhuzh in the front. I've
feel
done that
like-
before.
But the difference between how you have your hair now and that is there's gonna be
Minimal.
a 0.5% cooler. You know, like
Don't
it's
tell
nothing.
me how much cooler I'm gonna be. You're not me. You try to predict everything. You can't predict shit.
Yeah, well,
You don't know nothing about nothing.
It's just science.
Also,
you're,
I wouldn't.
you're only cutting
I
off
wouldn't
a
take my
tiny.
style advice. from
Yeah,
Tom.
exactly. This
No,
guy's
no,
telling me
I'm
not to
I
shave
don't-
my head.
Well, I'm not saying style. That's
He's
subjective.
always trying to quantify
You said
everything.
you're gonna look stupid, is what you just said.
Yeah.
Well, I thought he meant shave his head.
I'm not
didn't know
gonna bick it. I'm gonna buzz it, like shave my head.
Yeah. Well, even on like a 1 or 2, it looks weird.
To you, I might think it looks great.
Well, based on how you've worn your hair for years.
I don't think anybody would say much. If we drew attention to it, I think people would, but I don't think many people would say much about it.
You don't
'Cause
look
I've
bad with a
done it.
shaved head.
I've done
yeah.
it before. I do have a big hole in the top of my head, and that's not fun to
A
look at.
hole.
Yeah, I have like an indention where a surfboard hit me, and I got cut, and it healed weird, so it goes like this.
I might do a mohawk again and then just wear wigs when I want long
That
hair.
would be kind of fun.
It's too fucking hot.
Tom's got the best hair to do. You could do literally anything with your hair. You got that from Granddad, from your papa, your grandpapa. That's good hair. Yeah,
have no
Jackal.
idea.
Jackal's even agreeing. He says he's
Is
jealous
that
of your swoop.
Is Pop on your mom or your dad's side?
Dad.
Daddy's side.
You're supposed to get it from your mom's side, or is that a
I think that's a
fallacy?
myth.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is a myth.
All right.
I think that's a myth.
Everything I've ever learned is fucking lies.
Yeah, there's a lot of lies out there.
Good old Florida education.
I don't know how. There's a promo shot with me with a shaved head. Let me see if I can find
But that's a that's a universal myth. That
Yeah, it's
everybody
spread around
believes.
everywhere. Yeah.
Same thing with dogs or 7 human years.
They
Oh, that's a
changed
lie
that.
too?
They changed that. Yeah, they updated that correctly to like a. They've updated it. The new one is at my veterinarian's office, and it's kind of interesting because it goes up.
Well, it depends on the breed and the the
It
size
does,
of the dog.
but for the most part, it's like the first year, like by the time your dog's like 1 year old, your dog's like 14 or like 26 or something. It's something weird. And then it changes, and it goes like, then they go to like 32, and then they go to like 36. It's weird.
Well, it's because humans want to
Make it like humans.
have the same relation
Yeah.
to time for all
Dogs
animals,
are just
yeah.
like me. They're not.
Yeah. They were like, oh, he's going through his teenage years. Like, no, that's not how it works.
Yeah, dogs don't do
Yeah.
that. Dogs don't do that.
And some animals are born independent from birth.
Yeah. Cold, unfeeling animals.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
just come
yeah,
out
yeah.
ready to kill. Killing machines. So what's going on, chat room? Give me the tea. Who's dealing with a problem we can help?
Hold on, he's calling.
Oh, yes.
Good morning, it's Tom and Dan. Hey Shane, let me just throw you on hold. We'll do a quick intro and we'll bring you up, okay? All right, hold on. Line 2.
Hey, Shane, can you hear us okay?
Yeah, can you hear me all right?
Awesome, man. You sound great. Thank you so much for the time, and we're going to get going right now, man. Hold on 1 second.
Awesome.
Here we go. Mr. Van, would you like to start?
Yeah.
3, 2.
Welcome back to A Corporate Time.
Yeah, this is really, really cool. Did you set this up with some of our comedian friends? How did we get
Yeah,
this? This
our
is
buddy
like-
Larry Fulford told me to
Man,
reach out.
Larry Fulford is so cool. Thank you, Larry and Ross and all the different both Rosses. I'll throw some love on
Yeah.
both of those guys for always thinking of us when you have big, massive comedian celebrities that are rolling through our tiny little towns in Florida. And on the line with us right now, Tom, I'll let you do the honors. This is really, really cool. And
Well-
it sounds like he's in a bowling alley.
He's going to be at the West End, 8 o'clock, August 18th on Friday.
Yes,
Shane
sir.
Torres is on the line. How you doing, Shane?
Hey, gang, how are you today?
Good.
As
Listen
a
to
big
that.
celebrity comic, I didn't know I'd reached that status.
Well, you are, man. We're big fans of you here and your storytelling. And I was just giving my business partner Tom a huge compliment last week about how he is, my friend that tells the greatest stories. Have you always been a really, really good storyteller? Is that something that your friends and family have pointed out and said that you have that knack?
I'm not sure. I think it's if I have, I don't think it was genetic because
Gotcha.
both my parents couldn't tell a story. They would just be like stammering and stuttering through a story, or it'd be kind of painful to watch. So maybe I got it from them, or maybe it's one of those it skips a generation kind of things. But yeah, I guess I've always been a bit of a nut. So I guess that it's entertaining to look at a crazy person complain about their day. So maybe that's where my strength comes
I
from.
got you.
So, Shane, I want to ask you about the web series you did for Comedy Central. Why did that stop? Because the premise is great.
I'm sure he wants to know too.
Yeah.
You'd have to ask Comedy Central. I think they're too busy rerunning The Office for 9 hours.
Right.
I'd love to know too. That's the closest I ever got to having a steady gig in this industry.
Yeah, man.
Thanks for bringing up that painful memory.
It was a great
That's what
concept.
I like to do.
I mean, maybe do it independently.
Yeah, have you thought about maybe propping it up yourself?
I would like to, but it depends on how ticket sales go this coming week. Maybe I have a little extra money to throw at production costs.
Yeah, there you go.
So,
What made you come up with the idea about comedians facing their biggest fears?
well, what's interesting is it's very, we all have something that irks us. So I think you take the gravity. So when you were if you were bullied as a kid, if somebody shoved you, if you just laughed at them, it kind of took away their energy.
Yeah, take
Yeah.
the power
Or
away.
yeah, it's a similar thought process, and that if you make it dumb and fun, within the with certain safety guardrails. I think anybody needs to be handling a live cobra or anything like that, but it can kind of relieve some of it. I used to be deathly afraid of flying, and now it seems like I'm never not on a plane.
Yeah.
So that was kind of the idea. Yeah.
I have that one as well. I have the extreme fear of flying. I identify with what you're saying. But, yeah, it is cool to take people, though, that because I don't know if you do this when you're scared, but I instantly go into to start humor. I instantly start just rolling into finding whatever's around me that's funny. And the idea of getting, your friends to do that is, to me, is genius. So hopefully you'll get a chance to do it again at some point, man.
Yeah, it's a defense mechanism, like a lot of humor is. So yeah, I'm hoping somebody be interested in that idea again. I think it'd be a funner way to do it too. But we'll see.
Do you
gotta,
Yeah. I mean, do you ever get tired of people? And I'm going to do it right now, so you can tell me honestly. Do you ever get tired of people bringing up the Guy Fieri joke and the idea that it's been analyzed and it being on Conan and people saying that it broke you? And I actually saw an interview where you said, you know what? I think I'm still waiting to kind of get that rocket launch. I'm still not there yet. And I found that interesting. Why? Do you ever get tired of that joke or that bit?
Well, I haven't done it in a number of years.
Yeah.
But I think it's one of those things I'm like, what the bit shows to it's a good question, by the way. Thank you. Most people are just like, did you meet him? What's he like? So, is he covered in cheese and chili when you meet him?
Right.
I think the thing is, I do feel like I'm still waiting to get that push. I think the thing I like about the bit is it shows I can do comedy very well. I think it's a bit like people are like, that's a, he wrote a great song. Now maybe he can write a bunch of other ones. Essentially, it's kind of like how I feel about it. I'm very proud of the bit and what it did. It's it's definitely a thing I'm known for. Sure. Which is very, very cool. But I haven't done it. I'll tell you a quick story if you don't mind.
Yeah, please.
I was performing. You go to the music festival in Bonnaroo?
Yeah.
In Tennessee.
I am so glad you're going to tell this because I read this, and when we were researching, I'm so glad you're telling this. Yeah.
Okay. So I was asked to perform there, which is, kind of right up what my alley, what I love to do.
Yeah, man.
Is my friend Marianne, who booked the comedy at Bonnaroo, was very she was like, I need someone to go up right now. Can you do it? And I was like, oh yeah, sure. And I go up and I kind of go on autopilot, and I start doing the Guy Fieri bit. And there's a part of the bit where I talk about Anthony Bourdain in a not so esteemed light.
Sure.
And I go to that part of the bit, and I forgot that Anthony Bourdain had died 2 days before.
Yeah.
So all these people on ketamine in a circus tent were just like, whoa, man. Not
Too far, bro.
Yeah. And now there is no more comedy at Bonnaroo.
Oh, you killed the comedy at Bonnaroo.
I did not know that because I remember seeing this when we were researching and going through a bunch of stuff to try and ask you. I was hoping you would bring this up, and I was going to ask you about it because the idea of having to do that, and yeah, of course you're on autopilot, these are things that you've crafted and you've sweated over for years, these bits, and you go up there, and how does it feel to pivot in front of that many people? Was it a conscious decision? Did you just plow through? How did you handle it?
I gave them I gave them a very like, look, I wrote this before 2 days ago. Shut up.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
And I kind of doubled down, which wasn't really like fun festival vibe, but
Right.
it definitely like, now we're all going to go see the Killers and, drink rum or whatever. So it could have been worse. But
Right.
also, I think the real, to be fair to the people who produced the festival, I was talking to one of the heads of the festival, and I don't know if you guys can tell this, but, I like to get in my cups a little bit, have a drink now and then.
Yeah.
Sure.
And I got all liquored up talking to the heads of the festival, one of the heads of the festival, and she goes, I'm not supposed to tell you this, but there's a secret Cage the Elephant show tonight.
Ooh.
And I was like, okay, cool. And then I was like all drunk, and I was like, why don't you guys have more Mexicans on this festival? And they were like, we have plenty of Mexicans. I was like, yeah. And then they called my name, and I went up. I was all drunk, and I was like, anybody here going to the secret Cage the Elephant show tonight?
Oh! I love that.
That's pretty awesome, man.
Yeah, and then she was just like, what are you doing to me, man? We brought you out here for a good time.
And you killed the comedy.
Yeah.
How did you?
Yeah, I mean, it was 2 nails, but the coffin for sure should.
Yeah.
There's a lot of dirt on it.
How did you end up going? Born in Fort Worth, born in Fort Worth.
Yeah.
How did you?
Born in Fort Worth.
How'd you get to
Born
Portland?
in Fort Worth. I just got in my car and left one day. I was tending bar at a TGI Fridays
Nice.
for years. And I'm a flair bartender in another life. So if there's any single women coming to the show, be prepared to be wooed.
There you go.
It's truly the lamest thing anyone could get good at.
I was about to say, can you do the whole thing where you balance the bottle in the back of your hand? I like that trick.
I do like that one.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I could take a Chambord bottle and roll it across my chest like a globetrotter rolling a basketball. I can do it all, baby.
That's pretty awesome.
It was.
But
No,
why
it's
did you
not.
choose Portland?
It
though?
is like I kind of just I had like I sold all the stuff I had, and I just kind of was like, I'm going to the West Coast, and I just wanted to do something different. I was like, maybe I'll go to San Francisco and finish up my degree because I thought, that's such a great city. But
It is.
I kept going when I got to Portland. I was in San Diego for a little bit, and then San Francisco didn't quite sit right. And then my friend was in Portland, and she was like, you should come here. People like it. And it was like, this was like 20 years ago. So
Yeah.
it wasn't
Right.
like the destination city it is now. And then I kind of fell in love with it, and then luckily fell in love, found a group of misfits. And stand-up started at the right time in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shane, back to flair bartending for a second.
All
So
the box is
Guys,
open.
My
You
crew
can't-
passion.
Hey,
Yeah.
well, okay,
Back to.
Forget your comedy career.
Yeah,
Let's go
hold
back
on.
to
Yeah,
Fridays.
Yeah.
Wait,
Hold
the
on.
money in Flair
We'll make
the money
it
in Flair bartending comparative to my gig.
exactly, and we'll make it
Come on,
right.
FA11.
We'll make it right. August 18th, 8 p.m. Get your tickets. There. We
So-
gotta say it a bunch of times.
Please do.
Yeah. Snag them.
it seems to me like you start doing the flair and you're balancing the liquor bottle on your chin, and then you're doing the flip, catch behind your back, and then you're throwing the lemon in the drink, the whole thing, and then the person's like $2. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
they tip you like only a small percentage more for all this extra elaborate circusry you're doing.
Yeah. You don't get much.
Yes.
Is that true?
Yes, but I also go on stage and talk about my mother's death for 40 minutes. So
Yes.
and everybody pays the same price no matter what. yeah. So like, buy a T-shirt at the show or whatever I get.
That's awesome. Like, tell us what it was like a little bit, and what was the schedule like when you're on tour in Europe and you're opening for Bert Kreischer, who is, he's winning awards, he's Comedian of the Year here, and
Got a movie out
got a
about it.
movie out and killing it. Like, what's that relationship like, and what was the pace and the schedule like when you were in Europe with Bert?
Well, it's interesting because he's such a worker, it's a bit different. We got in, I think I got into. I think the tour started in Oslo, and I got in the day before people, or maybe the morning before.
Yeah.
And then that was like go, man. It was wild. Like, you know, like it was the trip of a lifetime. We were staying in these amazing hotels and playing these theaters that are older than this country.
Yeah.
You know, and but it was churning them out. But it was also like, can you believe that? Like, it's kind of everything you dream of in your fantasy world of like going on stage, performing your best, and then like dancing all night and drink. Like that was kind of what it was like. We would dance all night, go out bars, or whatever we were doing, drink beers.
That's awesome.
And then perform, and then and then they're like, you go and you're like, oh my God, look at all these tall Nordic beautiful women who I have no shot with, but they're still fun to look at.
Well, they might, they might be
You
into
might
you.
hear that Texas accent.
Yeah, they might. I think they'd be into you. No?
Yeah, come on. No.
Well, just because you're exotic
Maybe
compared
I'll-
to...
That's
like
what I'm
that,
thinking. He
exotic.
is exotic.
Yeah,
He's got
so-
the flannel on and.
Yeah, I'm exotic because I sweat like a mango in the sun. But I'm not.
Well, Shane, you know what's funny?
But it was an intense pace for sure. But we got some downtime, and we definitely saw some ridiculously amazing things.
That's
So,
killer, man.
yeah.
That is so cool.
Well,
Yeah.
it was funny you mentioned about Bert is like people like often see Bert Kreischer and they're like, how does this guy drink so much and party so much? Like, drink for 8 hours straight.
Yeah.
And they're like, that same motor is what he has why he's successful as a comedian too.
Right.
He's able to do just nonstop work.
He goes.
And even if he's drinking, that doesn't stop him from working. And it seems like everybody who's successful.
He's a functioning alcoholic.
but also that motor that allows him to drink for 8 hours also
Yeah.
allows him to work.
It doesn't
for
turn off.
12,
You're right. You're
you know,
right.
yeah.
It doesn't discriminate.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, there is certainly a work hard, play hard attitude with him. You know, like for all of his we're slamming beers and doing shots and lack of clothing. There's for sure like an insane work ethic that he has. So it is. You have to have a motor to do all of that. Like people who work that hard or who are that successful don't get there without just working their asses off.
Yeah.
I can't. Oh, sorry.
You
I
can
don't know
say
if I
that.
can
That's
say
fine.
that.
You can say that. That's fine.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I'll keep throwing out swear words, and eventually you guys will get me.
Not that one.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny because we don't care. We'll just be like, leave it in.
Well,
But like it was an intense pace, but it's so fun.
Well,
Yeah.
man, we're so
He
congrats
just
on.
produced him and Leanne, his wife Leanne, and he just produced my special that's coming out.
Yeah,
Oh, nice.
I
When
was
does that
gonna
come
say,
out?
yeah, I was watching another interview when you hadn't announced that yet, and you were keeping it close to the vest. But that's really
Yeah.
cool, man. Is that already out or coming out soon?
It's hopefully coming out soon. We just locked it,
Nice.
So I watched it 15 times, and I don't think anything is funny anymore, and my body is a weird anomaly to look at. So I don't.
I've heard people say that on your YouTube. I was looking at your YouTube today or checking out clips of you. People are like, why is he teapotting? And I'm like, what is teapotting?
Oh, it's when I put my hand on my hip, and I'm just a sassy little Southern. I'm like a giant Southern belle.
Well, hey, man, we're certainly glad that you're coming to see us in Sanford. Again, Friday, August 18th at the West End Trading Company, 8 p.m. Snag your tickets. Shane, thank you so much for the time.
ShaneIsAcomedian.com.
There you
Yeah,
go.
Shane is
Yeah.
comedian.com.
Yeah, ShaneIsAcomedian.com. Hey, thank you so much. We'll be at the show, and we can't wait to see you, man.
I appreciate you guys making the time. Thank you so much.
All right, man. Take care.
so yeah.
Take care.
That is, I cut him off. I always do that.
Was he at a dinner party?
I
know, he was at brunch.
Yeah. It sounded like he was. I thought laundromat.
Yeah.
Laundromat?
What happened to stepping outside?
Hey, my grandpa's here, everybody. Hi, Grandpa.
What happened there? I
What
gotta
did you
take
think
a
of that?
call.
Hey, Grandpa,
Let me-
what did you think? What did you think, Grandpa?
Do you have a coat room I could go to? Do you have some
Coat
place?
room? You are a grandpa.
I'll go in the coat room where the ladies powder their noses.
It's
Look, it was a struggle to get him because we had
No.
to keep going back and forth with our
Yeah, I'm just
schedule.
glad
So
we
I'm
got a
glad
chance
we
to
got
talk
him.
to him. Yeah, we got a chance to talk to him. All
Squeeze
that
them in.
matters is that we get to tell other people we had Shane Torres on the show.
It's funny because
Also, Larry Fulford and Ross Padgett will also be at that show. So.
That's a heck of a lineup because
yeah, it's gonna be a good show.
2 of my favorite local comedians, and then somebody I've never seen before that I think is an awesome comedian. So I think I'm gonna go to that. I think I'm gonna check that out.
if and this is probably how dumb I am, and my brain doesn't work that well. Okay. If it's loud in a room or
I
whatever,
can't concentrate.
and I'm
That's
talking,
your ADD, yeah.
and I'm talking to someone, like I am freaking out. Like I can't. I have to do the one ear closed.
Yeah.
I've seen you do it. You run out to the street,
and then I start screaming as if the person is in the same room I am, but the person is just in a quiet room. Like, why are you screaming?
Right.
And then so I have to like, if I know I have to make a business call or something, I have to go to a quiet place. I'll go and sit in my hot car just because I cannot
turn the air on, man.
No, well,
he likes to punish himself.
I'm just saying, I cannot talk in a loud room. Anyway, so what do you guys want to do for the next 2 minutes?
You got 2 minutes. Let's just throw a voicemail in there.
I will say it was Meet the Teacher today.
I did that last night, so we're right on schedule.
Yeah, and I got.
Why is yours in the morning? That's weird.
That is weird.
I don't know. They just. I guess it's from like 10 to 11. They had to,
gotcha.
you know. So,
they schedule them out. Yeah. Ours was 5 to 7.
That's gotta be hard for a lot of working parents to get to.
Yeah. Well, it's usually just one of the parent. You know, I don't know why that I went because I didn't do anything.
Crystal wasn't there at all?
Yeah, no, Crystal was there. No, but I'm saying I don't know why.
I thought it was just you by yourself, and I'm like,
well, you don't both have to do it, but you know, it's a nice gesture to go. I mean, why not?
But gesture to who?
To your wife. To your wife.
Yeah, so she doesn't have to do it all by herself.
No, I'll tell you, for Andrea. Yeah, that's why I went. I didn't want to go to that.
She did everything, and anyway.
Yeah, but you're there for support.
Yeah.
I carried 2 bags of school supplies. That's what I did.
There you go.
Yeah. Well, that's what I have sons for. They're all to carry their own.
Maisie wasn't there because Maisie was at her job.
She was working.
She didn't go to meet the teacher because she was at dance, and we had to tell him that.
Yeah.
Weird.
And then all I want to do is bribe the teacher because I was like meeting them.
I already did that, bro.
Does nothing. Like
already fired off an email this morning to the teacher. I said, "Hey, dog, what's your Amazon link? Let me get in there."
Mm-hmm.
That's how you do it.
Where'd you give them?
He hasn't sent me back the link yet, but when he does, I'm gonna pick like 9 or 10 things, and I'm gonna wow him.
I like cash as a bribe because if you buy something at Amazon,
that's too seedy.
No,
man.
I'm asking what he needs, and he's gonna tell me what he needs, and I'm gonna buy it from his Amazon wish.
Yeah, but he's not gonna say something he personally. He's gonna be like, I need some pencils and some wet wipes or whatever.
Well,
the hell
what you're talking about is like
you need cold hard cash. And like I because I was like, if I hand each one of these teachers a crisp $100 bill,
$100,
they will treat my
Next, they'll be eating a $15 hot dog.
No, but they will treat my sons differently, right? And then look.
Oh, they absolutely will. You know, I believe in that. You know, I believe in that.
Handshake them the 100, but nobody else is doing that.
I think you're going a little too far. I think just hitting up the Amazon wish list, getting them a few things is a little more subtle. I think the hundo, especially with the arm sling, is going to look a little weird. You look like you just got a settlement or something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Bribery always works.
This guy's on pain.
Yeah, it is going to work. It is going to work.
If you're on pain pills, you're keeping your hundo.
Yeah,
you need more pain pills.
Or you're selling the pain pills, getting the hundos.
It's just no one else is doing it, and I feel like that would create an awkward scenario. And I also have some other stories for Friday. That
okay.
Again, why am I there? I was standing around, and then Crystal's back. She's like, "Why are you just standing around?" I was like, "I have 3 kids here." Then I'm like, well, what am I supposed to be doing? And then I fill out the paperwork.
Look, I'm gonna support you on this one because there's nothing to do.
Well, there's stations that every parent is going to fill out paperwork.
No.
And then
I didn't have any of that. I had one station. You wrote the name. Ours is, I'm not going to say the what his name is or anything, but Andrea's new teacher is a military guy.
You mean
Maisie's?
Excuse me. I didn't even realize I did that. Maisie's new teacher is a military man. And when you walk in his classroom, there was one sign-up sheet. You signed up, you put your stuff away, and you left. It was tough.
So I met 4 different teachers because I guess they split the day, so they go to 2 teachers during the day. And so Max and Tommy
that's cool.
So there's 4, there's 4 different teachers.
That's 400.
But Sam and I were talking. I was like, nothing is standardized. Like it's not like Seminole County, Orange County. Everything's different.
Yeah. And
Time starts, what you bring, when you're out, vacation. It's all different.
I'll only tip the first teacher. The second one I feel like is later in the day, and that was not as important.
Get 'em less.
You got to figure out which subjects they're the worst at, and then give that teacher the money.
That is called
impossible to know.
That is literally that is a designated bribe. When you dial it in like that, you're like, well, he's bad at math, so I got to hit up the algebra guy.
Do you say math? Or you're like, here's $100 math.
Only
you don't say it if they're the math teacher.
No, you don't need to if it's the math. He's saying if it's a general,
they do
like all across all subjects. If the one teacher's doing reading and math, you got to hand him the money and say what it's designated for.
No, I think the math goes with science. It's not, I don't know.
What if you got a kid? Now,
like
you don't have this problem, and I don't have this problem, but I feel confident that a lot of our listeners have animal children that are just wild. Can you hand them the money and be like, behavior?
Yeah. Well, that's pre-tipping because you know your kid's an animal.
Right.
Like, I know how
it's
bad
like a little
it's gonna
something
be.
for your trouble.
Yeah, but I think that makes it worse because then they're like, oh no, this is gonna be bad, and then so they go into it.
What if you go high? What if instead of the hundo, you go 2 hundo and you go fix what I'm doing wrong? Like, what if you're like, help me, I am not a good parent.
It's cheaper than private school.
It is.
Like the bribery.
All you're doing is you're weaponizing a teacher and making him your private parent.
Also,
not a bad idea.
Of course, like everybody's like brings in all the school supplies and puts
Some
them in.
people try to outdo each other by getting the fancy stuff. I saw that.
Well, I'm like, how much glue do these people need? Like,
Kids go through a lot of glue. Some of them eat it.
They eat it. They
put it on their hand and then peel it off.
They rub it on their butt.
Kindergarten is 3rd and 4th grade. Yeah, they don't eat glue.
Kids are dumb.
Yeah. I think at 3rd and 4th grade, they're already watching South Park.
Yeah,
well, your kids are.
Yeah, that's true.
They all are. They all have cell phones.
They're not all watching it.
They're watching porno.
All of the things that you say your boys do are none of the things that Maisie does.
Well, that Maisie's the anomaly.
I don't think she is.
No,
I don't
this is
think she
Miami
is.
friend syndrome
You're
because
looser
in
to
your
YouTube.
household, you think everything that happens in your house, it's the common thing, and that is not
You-
true.
you are
You live an
loose on your
insane
YouTube.
life, bro.
I'm around all other kids. My friends have all kids.
Your friends.
Yeah.
Your friends are animals. Your friends' kids are animals.
No, they're
Bingo,
not.
bango, bongo. We gotta go. Bye bye.
No, they're not animals. All of them. If you listen to me, it's all the same. Anyway, bye-bye.
That is Wednesday fur.
Yes.
Wednesday fur. What are we doing now?
It is lunchtime. It went by fast.
It did.
I guess we started kind of late.
Yeah. 24. No edits in that. Do we need to do anything else before lunch?
No, I think that's it.
All right, guys. We'll be back in a bit. So enjoy.